The next one was It Chapter 2. Man, this is going to be a tough one for me because this was one of those movies where it was like really good scenes and acting and then just like, what the and then really good scenes and acting and then just, when did this happen? Like, why does this, if anything, is a consistency error. It's this movie. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's the second movie and it didn't clarify his capabilities at all. Its capabilities. I gave it a 7. Actually, I'm going to let you go ahead so I can think about this for a second.
What do I have?
You gave it a 6.
I'm sticking with the 6. I feel like I'd rather watch It Chapter 2 over than Hobbs and Shaw. But I probably will not watch this over Aladdin 2. I mean, like Aladdin, like the remake. I'll probably watch Aladdin many more times than this one. Like you said, the consistency was pretty bad. I felt like the first It was more of a 7 because his powers and consistency powers of what
it's still a
Pennywise can do is a bit of a mystery. It's cool. There were jump scares in the first one rather than this one.
Good ones, just good jump scares too, not cheap
creepy.
Ones.
So It Chapter 2, I'm sticking with my rating of 6. Like I said, it really had its moments.
It did.
But I feel like
it was really charming.
The moments that it had and the moments that were like, what the
it was way outweighed.
It was a little outweighed.
I concur. I think it's a 6. I gave it a 7 because I really like Bill Hader and James McAvoy. It had a really good cast, and I think it kind of like was similar to Hobbs and Shaw, where I was giving it too much credit for just who was acting in it. I agree. I think It Chapter 1 for me was about a 7, maybe 7.5. I did really think it did something a little different in the horror genre, and it was one of the few movies that actually kind of did scare me. Yeah, it was creepy, and I really liked that. But this movie, I didn't leave the theater like kind of creeped out. So yeah, and it still is very good, especially in terms of horror. So it is still above average, even though it kind of left me with that average feeling. So yeah, 6 I feel is an appropriate rating for
It Chapter 2.
Yeah, that movie.
Re-rating.
Re-rated 6. Yeah. So the next one is Ad Astra. I rated it a 4, and I stand by that because, and the thing is, like, this movie was bad, and I'll never watch it again. But I still stand by 4 because it was bad because it just wasn't, you know? Like, it didn't have a bad...
I know. I don't think they know.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure they
don't.
didn't watch it. But we're okay with that if you didn't watch it.
They only talk about moon pirates once. Don't watch it.
And space monkeys.
Yeah.
Once. And it was like 10 seconds.
Come on. But yeah, I think it's a 4 just because, like, it's so bland. It's like... It's so average that it's below average. Like, that's the best way I could put this movie in a sentence. So yeah, I think 4 is a...
Did I give it a 4 as well?
You gave it a 4 as well.
I think I'm sticking to that. Honestly, even though it was like the cheesy story of like the son trying to find his like dad and that kind of stuff, but I would rather watch that because it was visually good and entertaining than Godzilla Dark Phoenix and stuff, and Brad Pitt does a really great job. He delivers his he never made me hate him at all.
Yeah.
He delivered his lines like spot on to like the writing in that movie. Even though the writing was bland and lame and average. Yeah, it kind of just made me more just like, wow, Brad Pitt's a really good actor.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't wait to see when he does a real movie.
Right. Even though he's proved himself like so many times, like over and over with other movies like Fury or
even Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, or even Once Upon a Time, or even
Inglourious Basterds.
Inglourious Basterds, like Fight Club. Like, he's proved himself so many times, and like him coming out with this, I'm just like, dude, like you're
great.
You're a great actor. You're professional. You're awesome. Delivers lines. So it's a 4. The only thing that drags it down is because it's like one of those like $1 menu like burgers that you're gonna get from McDonald's, where it's nothing like special, but it's like something for you to eat.
Yeah, you're
and,
not gonna
like,
hate it,
get
but
full.
four stays 4 on that. Next one was the Joker. We both gave this an 8. I'm satisfied with that. Yeah, I loved the movie. I think it had some moments where it was just like, I don't know why you're doing this. It was definitely a little obvious at times, and it didn't need to be.
And you'll understand, if you've seen our Joker review movie.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I'm comfortable with that. I don't think anything's changed. I still like it. It's still an 8.
it's still a great performance between like everybody that was on there. I would give it a higher rating if the movie wasn't tied so hard on the character Joker and like the name of the Joker.
Yeah.
And
it definitely got a lot of its popularity from just being the Joker.
Like I understand the story and the theme, like those are just always like all good.
Yeah.
But the reason why it did so well with like the whole clown
It's
part of the thing was because the Joker and Joker's
Yeah.
related to the clown thing, and that's why it deserves just an 8 for me. So still an 8. So that didn't change.
That was pretty fresh, so it's not too crazy. Gemini Man was next. That one's gonna change for me. So we both gave it a 6.5. I think this was another one of those, like, I really enjoyed it, but like Men in Black International, I really enjoyed it, but it's not as good as how I enjoyed it. Yeah, I feel 6.5 is a little high because I think Aladdin's actually like a good movie. And this one
would watch Gemini Man over Men in Black International.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Just because I felt like the action
was
of Will
better.
Smith was a little bit better,
Yeah.
and it wasn't as cheesy as the International Men in Black movie. I liked all the characters that were in there, even like the villain that like clones people.
Yeah.
The only issue that I had was the story, which was cloning Will Smith. And I actually might keep it a 6.5.
I think I'm gonna drop mine.
But that's fine.
Not a lot, because I still like I said, I enjoyed it, but I think this is another one where I was giving it a little much credit, but not for the acting, but it was
I'm
for
giving the action credit.
It was for the
because
whole,
they
like,
try to do something different.
They used the high-end cameras,
Yeah.
and I was like, maybe it's better in 4K, and I looked at some 4K footage, and it kind of wasn't. It wasn't that much better. It was a little bit better. Like the backgrounds looked a little better, but the Will Smith's clone just still looked weird. And I was just hopeful that maybe it wasn't so weird, and it was just the motion that was really, like, I don't know why he like.
Yeah,
always
but so
walked,
was
like,
the live action Genie. It was probably about the same.
I thought
He
live
looked
action
weird.
Genie looked better. It looks more because he was at least like a mystical
In a way, in
creature.
the animated, it was still kind of animated because it's like blue.
Yeah,
and
but this
he's
is supposed to be
genie.
like a physical human being, and it just didn't. His facial movement, it was just kind of like it was almost too exaggerated to be human at times.
I
You
see.
know what I mean?
I get it.
So I'm actually
But
gonna
he
drop
is
it to
a clone.
6. Yeah, maybe they're like the clones have weird facial muscles where they're always like, "What? Do you say something?" But yeah, I'm gonna drop it to a 6. Not a lot. I just feel like I just wouldn't put it on the same level as Aladdin or
Lion
Once
King.
Upon a Time, even, or Lion King. I think those are a little better. So I'm gonna drop it to a 6. You're staying at 6.5.
I'm saying 6.5.
So that's a 6.3 for that one. Next one is Zombieland. Man, this is gonna be another thinker for me. So I'll let you go first.
Okay.
You gave it a 3.
I'm sticking with the 3. Honestly, because it's the same as Godzilla. So many plot holes, so many consistency errors. The only thing that made it decently good was probably the comedy of the blonde chick. But like we said, it got annoying. The comedy just got really annoying. Though they did have great just maybe two good
It made me laugh
actors.
a few times.
Emma Stone and Woody Harrison. Just Jesse Eisenberg's character was annoying.
Jesse Eisenberg just plays
Woody
Jesse
Harrison's
Eisenberg.
character eventually gets annoying. Even Emma Stone, like there was no motive. There was nothing. There's too much family drama when I wanted more zombies. Even though maybe I'll probably watch this over Dark Phoenix, but I don't want to watch it again. The only reason why it's a 3 is maybe because of the acting and Tim Miller's directing for like the action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I've seen it before. It's been done. Deadpool does a way better job. The comedy in there is a way better job. I don't know why they had to make that second movie.
They did not.
I'd rather just watch the first one. I think the first one was an average movie for me. Yeah. And that's a pretty good score for a zombie movie.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that was probably my favorite zombie movie.
Yeah.
If I can have a favorite. But I'm the same boat. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it a 3. I thought that movie was unnecessary, like the second Godzilla movie and Dark Phoenix. I thought that was so freaking...
I do, though, think it's a 4. Because I was looking at, like, Ad Astra, where it ranks with Godzilla.
I would watch Ad Astra over...
And Hobbs and Shaw. I don't think it's not... Like, Hobbs and Shaw, like I would happily watch that again. Not happily. I would contently watch it again. This movie, like, it would have to be... I would have to be doing something else while watching it. Like, I cannot sit there. I could watch it again, but I'm gonna need like a puzzle or something. I don't even do puzzles, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd rather do a puzzle, but I'm also not against seeing it if it's on the TV. I'm not gonna turn it off or anything. So I think a 4 is a good balance of that, kind of like an Ad Astra level. Whereas Ad Astra might have been boring, and that's why I got a 4. This is just like, it has its entertainment value, but for the most part, it's a bad movie. So 3.5 adjusted rating for Zombieland. Sorry for all you weirdos out there that actually enjoyed that. I don't get you guys. I just don't understand. That's fine, but I don't understand. 3.5 for that, which brings us to another 3.5. We both gave it a 3.5. Terminator. I really didn't like this movie, and I was really upset in our review because it's the same over and over again, and it was just really lazy.
Oh no, it wasn't Tim Miller that directed Zombieland. My bad. I gave him bad information. Damn, we can't even look at it.
I got it on my computer, though.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, it was Ruben Fleischer. 30 minutes or less, Gangster Squad, the first Zombieland. I'm still really frustrated with Terminator. I'm sticking with a 3.5 for it, though, because it has its moments, and like for the most part, it's really not a bad movie, other than the fact that they keep giving you the same movie. So that low rating is more just like a stop feeding me the same bull and calling it a different name. Yeah. But I feel fine with giving it a 3.5. I think that's fair.
I thought the action did stand out more than Zombieland.
Yeah, and it wasn't very consistent, but it was entertaining.
Did the villain look menacing, even though his powers were just
saw
inconsistent?
Him not use his powers correctly.
But like compared to like Jafar, like the guy in Terminator looked more menacing than Jafar did.
Yeah, but Jafar looked like
a joke.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with the 3.5. I'd watch Ad Astra over.
Yeah, I would too. I'm not gonna watch Terminator again. If it's like 3.5 or low, I'm not watching it again.
I'll probably watch the first little bit of Terminator just because of her butt, and we do get to see that. So
butts are nice. Hot take from Samurai Reviews. Samurai Review rating on butts 10. Butts get a 10. Yes. Speaking of butts and Queen and Slim, Daniel Kaluuya, he's got a butt, y'all. Boy's packing some booty. Mm-hmm. He's eating his bootios. Yeah. Good job, Daniel. Moving away from butts, we come to Jojo Rabbit. So, this is a movie, when we reviewed it, we both gave it an 8.5. When I reviewed it, I said specifically, this movie is a very good candidate for it going up to a 9. Mm-hmm. It has done that. upon seeing more about it, learning more about it, watching parts of it again, I will watch it fully again, no doubt. It deserves a 9 for pretty much the same reasons I rated Queen and Slim so high. Go watch that video. It's very touching and emotional, and it connects you with the characters in it, and it's very nuanced and creative and funny, and it does have some moments where the jokes kind of don't hit, but they're not funny, so it still keeps it up at that 9 level. And I really enjoy Jojo Rabbit. That's also up there for best movie of the year. But so I'm gonna raise mine to a 9 for that. I think it deserves it.
Go watch the spoiler part of Queen and Slim to kind of understand why I'm actually going to go up to a 9 as well. Is because I'm going to give it the credit it deserves with the comedy. It's well balanced and it delivers. The comedy is a hard thing to pull off, and it pulls it off. And so that's why I got to give it that 0.5, because of how well the comedy did.
It didn't take away
movie.
from any of the message.
No, the comedy drove that movie. And that's, like I said, comedy is just really hard to do. And I got to give it that credit. So it's a 9 for me as well. So that comes out to a adjusted rating of 9 for Jojo Rabbit.
Straight 9 right there. That's solid. That's a great movie too. I really, if you haven't seen it yet, that's definitely go.
I've seen it twice, and like the second time,
grab your keys right now.
I've seen it twice, and the second time was there was a foreshadowing in the movie that I didn't get to, like I totally just went over my head in the first one, and I saw it in the second time around, and I'm just like, wow, that was so just put in there perfectly. And I was just like...
So that being a 9, we move on to Harriet. I'm actually going to change mine on this. So we both gave it an 8. I still really think... I actually gave it I think I said in the review that I was easiest 8 I've ever given in my life, which is kind of ironic at this point because I'm going to lower it to a 7.5. I lied to y'all. At the time, it was the truth. And it's still, I still love the movie. I thought it was a great portrayal of Harriet and life in that time for slaves and stuff like that. But I do, upon further contemplation, I do think they kind of pushed it with the visions stuff. They made it too much about her visions, and I wish they would have made it more about her just figuring out
her personality.
I don't know. Not to say
her
that
charisma, her and
that was a part of her life, which is why it's not anything too much lower. But I would have liked to see her just being I know they go this route, and they're and she knows all their plans, and she outsmarts them, rather than her just having a seizure and then being let's walk through the water. It's a cool storytelling mechanism, and I did enjoy it still.
That's weird because mine's the complete opposite. Because I came out of that theater and I was like, oh, it's a 7.5 because the visions were so weird. And then once you told me about oh, she actually had these vision seizures and stuff, and I'm like, wow, okay, so they're actually trying to be more historically accurate to her thing, and I'm probably still going to keep it an 8, a 0.5 higher, just because of that. Yeah. Historical accuracy, even though the drama in there was a little bit kind of stretched, obviously, for cinematic purposes, but they kept it true. They kept, you said, with all
core of the character.
Yeah, the core of the character. Yeah. They kept it.
I still love the movie, but yeah.
Yeah, that drops it down just a 0.2.
Yeah, it's still 7.8.
It's 7.8. So
the next one was Dr. Sleep that we saw. And we're getting nearing the end here. We got 3 more. So, Dr. Sleep, I gave a 7. And I think this one is another one I'm going to lower a 0.5. Just because of looking at all the other movies I've done today. And I feel like this is kind of a Lion King type situation where it's
they did so much with The Shining, and it's just not original.
But it was good. like I still enjoyed the movie, and it still had moments where I was like, that's cool. I really liked the concept a lot. Like the concept of the movie Doctor Sleep is very, very fun, and it's very much in tune with what I tend to like in movies. But yeah, they did a lot of like, yeah, the pandering with the Shining stuff was too much. I don't feel comfortable rating it above like an Aladdin or a Lion King or something like that. So I'm gonna put that at a 6.5. You rated it a 5.5.
I think I'm going to stick with that. Slightly above average movie.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was definitely had some average moments, but I really liked the concept and the ideas behind everything. I would watch it. I enjoyed that more than Gemini Man, but I will say I think Gemini Man has a better rewatchability to it. Because the thing about Doctor Sleep that I enjoyed was it was kind of like creepy, and you didn't know where it was going at times, and then they kind of blew it towards the end. But yeah, I enjoyed seeing all the bits and pieces of it that they did uniquely. And so I do, and I did in my review, I also said it was a reluctant 7. So yeah, 6.5. The shining parts that they showed don't add anything to the movie. You could take those out and you still get the same idea of what's happening. You don't lose anything.
Yeah, my rating's going to probably stick with the 5.5. It's just average, just above average, just because the only thing that there was probably maybe 2 good moments that they weren't unoriginal, where they were original, and I did like those, and they weren't by means like a 10 out of 10 like part of the movie. So it's just an over average movie, 5.5.
So that's an adjusted rating of 6 for
Dr. Night Night.
Dr. Night Night. Yeah, so that one's changed a little bit. So Charlie's Angels is the one that inspired the idea for this video, this long video. After we reviewed it, while we were reviewing it, we really wanted to make sure that it was fair comparatively to the other movies we rated. Specifically, we compared it to Hobbs and Shaw because it's that similar kind of pointless action movie, and we thought it was better than Hobbs and Shaw, so we wanted to make sure it was higher rated, and I specifically rated it a 5.5. Yeah, before we did this video, and when we were talking about rating Charlie's Angels, so I wanted to make sure it was above the 5.5 that I gave Hobbs and Shaw because I thought it was better, so I gave it a 6. We both gave it a 6, and that was kind of what I was preluding to earlier, where I said I'm lowering Hobbs and Shaw because there's a better average movie of what Hobbs and Shaw was doing, and it's this movie. It's Charlie's Angels is a 5 for me. I think it's the perfect benchmark for an average movie, specifically an action movie. It's just an average spy flick. I really enjoyed it though. But yeah, it was just an average movie. But it still deserves better than Hobbs and Shaw. But since we lowered it to I lowered mine to a 4.5, I'm comfortable with giving this a 5.
Yeah, I agree. It's an average movie. What you get was a cheesy spy flick, what you said. Yeah. I'm also going to drop it down to a 5. Along with Hobbs and Shaw, though I'd rather prefer Charlie's Angels over Hobbs and Shaw. But
yeah, but not enough to put it at the 5.
But not enough to put it at the 5.5 just because it's the same type of movie that you're going to get.
All right, so that's through Charlie's Angels, and the only other one that we didn't do today is Princess Mononoke. I gave it a 7.5. You gave it an 8.5, but I also didn't have the cultural context that I felt comfortable having my review have the same weight as yours. So we ended up skewing a little towards your end, and it was an 8.2 from us, and we're both pretty solid in that one. Nothing really changed, especially since we saw it a week ago. Mm-hmm. Frozen was a 6.5, and we both gave it 6.5. Solid on that. Yep. And we're Frozen solid on that. And
Slim, Queen and Slim.
I gave it a 10. You gave it an 8.5. So it was a 9.3. But yeah, that is everything we have reviewed movie-wise on Samurai Reviews.
Well, thanks for watching. Yeah. We hope you guys enjoyed our review on our reviews.
A bit of background to what we do, what we think about. It's also good to get off my chest some of the changes that I was no, I made a mistake. So
hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely like and subscribe.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time in our review video. Follow us on Samurai Reviews 0 on Instagram. to keep updated on when we're going to post and when we do. So you have a blessed day.